Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans around the world. It's your boy P. Welsh here with another episode of previews, predictions, and picks with your boy Pete Welsh, dude. Triple P, bang, bang, bang. Getting into last week's review, let's do a 7-5 and record with one no contest. I'm not gonna lie, Chad whooped that ass. Giga Chad got in there over Giga. Diego Moises, easy TKO, armbar by Amwar, good call by Puelch. Danny Silva split decision. You got to take that. Nice prediction. Hafez Filio, first round finish, nailed that one. We did the reverse on Nunez. We lost Chandler. We lost there. We won Mike Davis. Easy money, Mike. Gerald Mearshart, easy against Barberena. Outclass, same with Chiazon. And we were kind of firing right there, and then we lost Christian Rodriguez. And then freaking Zincheku, dude, never believing in a guy just for a card again. Big St. Pro fan, big one. The no contest, a little soft on the Lusa. And then our guy Tai Tuivasa getting more like bum, getting lumped by Tybura, looking good there, Tybura. So that being said, we got 7-5 record with one no contest. We're moving along to this week. Pretty excited. Not the biggest card. They all can't be freaking 299s out there, but we got another fight night. Some good matchups here. People's careers on the line, and we're starting off with Muhammad Kamaru Usman's brother Usman versus Mick Parkin. Usman going off at a plus 120 dog with an 11-2 record versus Nick Parkin minus 148 at 8-0 from the UK, 2 each reach advantage. I tell you what here. I think Usman has to put him out early. I think Parkin has maybe a little bit better tank and technique over time and will win the fight if the longer it goes. I kind of think it goes a little bit longer. If Usman can't get that finish, I really that's kind of his win condition in my opinion. He just kind of doesn't have that same explosive power late in the fight, and not many heavyweights do. Um, Man, I've watched Usman fight and I want to pick him here, but I know he's kind of on the older side as well. I'm going to go and start off going for Mick Parkin. I think he gets a decision win late in the fight, maybe 2-1. Maybe late finish for Parkin if Usman can't tank, goes later more likely than not. They have a little bit fight time, 10, 11 minutes each on average. They get a good amount of decisions. Like I said, maybe we'll see a late finish there. I love Usman, and I loved him coming up on the Contender Series, but I've just seen him fade a little bit late into some fights. And if Mick's not going to get finished early, and Mick's kind of a dog, he ain't going to let it go without a fight. We'll see what happens there, but official pick is Mick Parkin taking the dub against Muhammad Usman. Going on round two, we got Igor Savino versus Andre Lima. Debut versus debut. What do you really have here besides debut versus debut? I don't really know what they're going to have there. I guess they want us to flip a coin there. I love the name Igor because it's the goalie of the Rangers. This one we're putting on this is basically a coin flip chat, but I'm going to go Andre Lima. We're going flyweight Andre Lima. I just got something about him. 7-0 record, kickboxer. When you got a little bit more going on, you can finish on the feet. Maybe this guy's never experienced the power versus, 4 wins by submission. So it's looking like Igor, but at 20 years old, my man is a young gun in the MMA. That being said, Andre Lima, we're going on this on the fly. 25. I'm going to go Andre Lima. I'm going to go the age experience. It's not going to be one that's going to be too much in depth. Literally, what do you want me to do here? You want me to give you, like, I've watched some of these guys. I put the video together about watching the fights, picking them, and seeing how we, really just kind of trying to find any edge whatsoever. I mean, look at the, if and Lima's a big favorite, there's another big indicator probably gonna lead. Or he's actually got a different name on the DraftKings. It's not Severino. That's on this. Probably change that. Um, that being said, we're just gonna lean Andre Lima and go from there. On to Rendon versus Diara Shazlanovkovich. And what do we have to go here? Oh man, not much here. They don't even give us pictures. They look very, very evenly matched up here. That being said, let's see. Mozart Rendon, 6-0 bantamweight, 6 wins by decision. Show she's gonna have some fight time. Won her last fight by split decision. We're gonna take a 5 jiu-jitsu. So definitely looking for some control fight. After that, Diarra, then Elena Novaha, 28, striker, St. Petersburg, Russia. They don't have much on her. 5 wins by knockout, 2 on the first round finish, and that's gonna just kind of be, what do you want to take? You want to take the striker, young striker, 69 inches, or are you gonna take the grappler, experienced grappler? It's really close. I kind of leaning towards Zenilova Devakina. I don't know how to say it, Diarra. Again, another really pick 'em. There's not much to go on there. We're getting to experience their fight careers in live time, and if picks come in and the picks come down, I feel like there's always a confidence. I should preface this. I think I didn't even preface this. I just discovered this as I'm doing this and recovering. There's confidence levels, right? And I don't know how to meter these confidence levels. To me, this is, I think they might just go into 3 ranges, right? It's like I feel like 50-50, right? And then you can feel like 75-25, 70-30, and then I feel like you got like 90-10, right? Like 90-10. 1 out of 10, because I feel like it's the fight game. Like, freaking 10 days out of 10, you're never feel the same. So, that being said, this is definitely one of those 50-50s. I'm taking Diarra Yakova. I think she just gets the striking done. I think if you can't have superior striking and if you're relying on it, if you can't get the takedown, and takedowns require physical domination. And if strikers, at least one thing is they're strong, right? They're punching their oppositions. I'm going Diarra Zelenakova. And moving on to the next fight, we got Jero Aarons versus Steven Wynn. We have 13-5 versus 2-0 debut in the UFC. Aaron's, again, not one I'm very familiar with. 13-5. Some previous is lost to Cho and Gomes. So some sturdy opponents there. Probably going to end up getting a win over Steve the Ninja Wynn. 30 years old, 7-1. No history to speak of. 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. I feel like this is right for Steve Wynn to win. That's where I'll probably have to go there. He's got him at plus money. Being said, I'm not a fan of picking debut guys. It's often very tough, especially a desperate. With that being said, people might not recover. Some people bounce back their losses. Some people compound losses. Aaron's, man, what do you got for us against freaking somebody making a debut? What do we got? Metrics very slim, featherweight bout. This guy's. I'm sitting here recording this. I got to make a pick. Azar, basically. Let's get it on. I'm gonna take win for the win, bro. If I didn't do it, what kind of person am I? All right, let's get some guy on the board. Let's get him a picture, Dana, and let's get win a win. That's where I'm going for. Flip it, send it to him. Moving on to Miles John versus in bantamweight bout, 13-20-9. Cody with a significant height advantage, 3 inches in the reach as well, and you get some gear that says metric. So metrics got the explosive to really get in there and do the damage and just get inside fast enough. You're shorter and explosive like that, you can get in, move, and if the guy can't react inside of him, if you can get inside the longer guy, that's your sweet spot. That's where I think Miles John gets. I think it will be really close. I don't think it may be second round. Goes to the judges' scorecard. It does. I think it might be significant strikes. Pretty well checking the breakdown. 13. Oh. Been on here too long, bro. You can't look on Miles John's card. Come on, man. All right, we're just moving on there. Miles John for the win. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. On to the next one. Ricardo Ramos versus Julian Erosa. This one was not covered on on DraftKings, so I don't really know if this one's going to happen. Sometimes they don't update it. That being said, this is a metrics one. Metrics. We're in the featherweight division. Ricardo coming down. Featherweight from lightweight at 5'9" versus Julian. And decision. Can be tough to take down a guy that's long. I got a Rosa here if they do got it. I'm going to spend too much time. Have any. I'm going to just go a Rosa there. Ricardo Ramos. 5. Charles Jourdain. He's a savage, though. Chavez. It's one of those things. You beat Bill Aguilo. This is going to be another one of those fights. But hopefully, Arosa shows up. Oh, he take it long. Guy gets knocked out by Padilla. Lost by Duwu. I'm not so sure. I'm not gonna officially pick this fight. It's not on the card. If I had to say something, if you want to count it, I'll pick a Rosa. Well, fuck it. We'll pick it. It's on the card. If it doesn't count, here's what we'll do. We'll pick it. I pick a Rosa. Right? So you scratch that. We're doing the reverse. Then we're doing the Nunez from last week, even if we lose. All right, I'm picking Ramos, right? They don't fight, it's a no contest. Ramos for the dub. Let's take it home, bro. Next, we got Trey Ogden versus Kurt Holball. And a last fight for Trey, no contest. And 21-7 for Kurt. I'm going to tell you what, dude. Kurt is an underdog, and I'm not going to pick a fighter named Kurt. You might have to tell me there because I did that with Chad last week. But I kind of think Trey Ogden is primed coming off a no contest. I believe it was a pretty nasty eye poke. I don't think it was a groin strike. And I just think Trey's going to come out here and make a statement. Nothing against Kurt. I don't know what his competition's been. I don't know really too much of his career. But I'm just going to go with Trey Ogden. I've seen him, I just know he's fought some good people. Guys like Moises is not a bad loss. Burgos, Barcelos. But he's just one of those guys. He still does take some losses, right? Trey's a guy that doesn't want to take losses. He wants to win, bro. He wants to win. He's going to make it nasty. And Trey's losses are to look at his wins over Zell Huber. Lost to Bahamondes. I think that was a main event as well. Overturned. So I think they meant to stop him. Got Ogden all day, bro. Ogden all day. Moving on, baby. Fernando Paldilla versus Luis Pulayo. Paldilla, I think he threw on the last Mexican card versus Luis 15-5. Last one on the loss. Let's see what we got for Luis going on here. 8-1 featherweight. Don Leon 7 by knockout. I tell you what, man. Padilla sold me on the last card. I am picking Luis Gallo. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets, and he was a big favorite on that last one. 15-5. Yeah, he lost to Kyle Nelson. He did knock out Rosa. He's going to have a height advantage. He's going to be probably the more active fighter, but I expect him to take more damage as well and wear out over time, and the damage is going to come from Paluyo, and we're going to see a big kind of upset win. I don't know odds real quick. They got Padilla at -160 or -166, so taking that, dude. Another upset, I think, coming here on the scorecard. We got Billy Quintaro versus Yusuf Zalala. And I tell you what, man, Billy's coming off a win. But in Billy's career, he hasn't looked the best always. He beat Damon Jackson by unanimous decision, but then he had a couple, he KO loss to Barbosa, KO win from Hernandez. He's just back and forth. Which Billy's going to show up? And I think he's actually fighting a certified killer this week, and I think Yusuf Zalala is going to work on the leg kicks, and I think he's going to really be able to get Billy on the ground and finish this. I don't think this one's going to be too close, to be honest. With close losses to Wilson, Blackshear, he's not looking the best. I think Zalala gets out here and gets a nice win over Billy Q. More of a boxer over there. Versus Yusuf, I think he's going to take it down. I think it's going to be tough for Billy to time it out, and it's going to be hard to do damage on his back. And that's going to be Zala's game plan. And I think he probably ends up getting a judge's decision. Maybe a get to finish submission, but I like Zalala to bounce back big time against Billy Q. 50-50 Billy Q recently. Next up, we got Peyton Talbot versus Cameron Ziam, coming off a loss, 7-0. Talbot versus 9-1, and this one's again pretty tough. There, what do you think's gonna happen? I kind of doubted Ziam last fight, and he came out strong. He came out strong, I believe. Oh well, he lost to Rodriguez, but that was the knockout. He came up and knocked Mitchell out. So he's, when he's seen good competition, maybe I'm mistaken who I was thinking about. But we just saw Christian beat another undefeated prospect. Talbot coming in there with the submission game, and I'm gonna go lead Siam just because he's coming off a loss and he's got the experience. I think he lost his number, and I think he's gonna take Talbot's. The bantamweight's full of a bunch of killers. I think it's gonna be a scrappy fight. I think one mistake could cost these guys. I think they're super talented group. I could see if Talbot has evolved in the striking game, he may be able to ascend over guys like this, but we're going to have to see that happen, right? And that's one being said. This is a great chance for him to use his length and his reach, really at least control the fight and distance, and then hopefully be able to negate the takedowns. I want Siam. I'm going to pick Siam to win just because I think he's not going to lose 2 in a row. I think he's going to come out there vicious and just tear him up. Talbot is going to be, I think it could be super close. This one's going to be super close. It's going to be a good one. This is going to, hopefully not too much laying on one another, but hopefully we see some high-level grappling. I'm taking Siam for the win. Let's go next. We got AJ Dobson versus Edmund Shabayajan. Middleweight bout here. 12-4 versus 7-2. Similar metrics over here. Shabayasan. Why does that name sound familiar? Lost to Fluffy Hernandez. That ain't nothing to scrunch about. And a loss to Imavov. I don't know if he's got many good wins on his resume, and that's what kind of scares me. Losses to Hermanson, losses to Brunson. He's going to beat Tavares because everybody does. Dobson coming in there, 7-2. Record with wins over maybe a loss to Petrosian's not good on the record, and only a win last August via unanimous decision. This one is one that's going to be a little bit tough to call. I'm leaning toward Edmund Shabayajan just because sometimes I just like the guys being able to come back. Dobson hasn't impressed me much, and neither has he. But being said, these are ones that I have to pick on Wednesday, but my true heart and my true picks are going to be seen on fight night when I see them walking up to the octagon. If they look locked in, bro, we've been doing the sock check, bro. You want your fighters, look for them wearing socks. If they wear socks, they lose. No socks, the fighters win. It's a pretty good clip. That's my new metric. But so that being said, having to pick early without them wearing that, I'm gonna go Shabayasan. Move on to the next fight. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm not super in depth on these fighters. I just like to enjoy getting them and more experience. I'm still pretty new into the game. Only been watching full time for a few years. So we're moving on to the co-main event: heavyweight Carl Williams versus Justin Tafa, replacing his injured brother Junior, who replaced injured brother Justin against Marcos de Lima at one fight and got his destroyed. Carl Williams coming in there. I can't see that. He just doesn't do the same thing. These guys, these Tafas ain't gonna move around, right? If you can get them there trying to load up on some big shots, play some good defense. I see Carl Williams getting a win over this Tafa. How healthy is his brother? Got lumped up not even 6 weeks ago. He couldn't. He's got half a camp maybe. Granted, he doesn't have to cut super amount of weight. He could knock him out. There always is that option, but the Tafa line is at stake here, and I just worry about it. If Carl can just establish that leg kick, I mean, if he doesn't do that, I'd be just thoroughly surprised. I mean, I'm picking Williams for that because I'll probably end up betting Tafa just because of the KO chance at plus 160, but I gotta say Carl Williams with the metrics. The game plan already established on his brother, like it's gonna, unless Tafa learns how to check some kicks and hold that leg and give it an overhand right. I think Carl Williams eats him up just like his brother got eaten up. Should be a banger. I don't expect this one to go very long. I expect this one to be under 7.5 minutes sometime by the end of the second round. But I'm going Carl Williams, official pick. Into the flyweight women's main event, Amanda Ribas versus Rose Namajunas, 10-6 versus 11-4. I have to tell you what, this one doesn't seem too fair. I don't know how Rose is a minus 200 favorite just coming off the trends. It's like, unfortunately, it's the reality of the fight game is we judge the fights off their previous renditions, and sometimes they're just not the same after things happen. Same with like Cheeto Vera, and I just think I think something similar happened to Rose, where she's just not the same person. Not person, the same fighter in a way. We're always changing as people, right? So we're always changing regardless. But I'm taking Amanda Ribas here, plus 180. I think she's alive. I think she's going to do a lot of damage. I think she's going to try and control the fight. I think Rose is only going to be able to do a handful of things. And if Amanda can handle those with a solid game plan ready to come in there, I think she might be done. And we're going to unfortunately see Namajunas taking another L. I like Ribas here. I like her to do a lot of damage. I like her to control the fight. Rose could just be sometimes when you're coming off a loss and you're in a big spot, a bigger spot than just somewhere on the undercard, feel a little bit more pressure. I'm liking Ribas here. I'm taking Ribas. I mean, hoping Rose wins to get her back into the title chance. But at plus 180, just with what I've seen from Namajunas, I'm just going to go take Ribas, take the chance. It's the pick'em game. We're picking every record. We're 45-25 with, official picks from the channel that heat off on fight night. 7-5 last week. A couple we faded down the stretch, and hopefully we don't here picking a big underdog. But I'm going with Ribas there. I just pick what I pick because that's what I feel, and I think sometimes the odds don't always add up, and you can't always just pick all the favorites. That's nothing like that, but upsets do happen. I'm just trying to do the best I can here. So we're gonna do a recap. Coming on there strong. We're taking Parkin. Okay, we're gonna take Lima. We're gonna take Zella Yakova. We're going to take Win for the win. We're taking Miles John. If this fight happens, we got Ramos on the reverse. Trey Ogden. We got Luis Uelo. We got Yosef Zala. We got Corey Zyman. Edmund Shabajian. Carl Williams, and Amanda Ribas. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe if you made it all the way into this video. Let me know some of your favorite fighters, what fights you're looking forward to. UFC 300 around the corner. We're going to keep rocking these videos out. We're going to be kind of moving to a better location here in the next month or so. So get a different setup coming along. But thanks for everybody who's watching and supporting. Check me out at twitch.tv/pwelsh, and peace and love, everybody.